All right, so now I want to bring in NewsNation political editor Chris Stirewalt, now host of The Hill Sunday. Chris, thanks so much for being here. Can we start with the endorsement from the Obamas? Timing's everything, right? They didn't come out on that Sunday. They didn't come out on that Monday. They come out right today. What do you make of the timing, and how big of an endorsement is that to have the Obamas in your corner?
If you would have told me or anybody in the political world 2 weeks ago that Democrats would be able to unhorse Joe Biden and get Kamala Harris basically the nomination by acclamation, because that's what we're talking about. The polls show there's 15% or so of Democrats, 12 to 15% of Democrats who are not happy about it. We don't know why, and we don't know in whose favor. But the degree to which state Democratic Party chairmen and chairwomen fell in line, got their delegates in line, pledged the delegates early, and she had a majority of pledged delegates within just days, just a few days of this happening. The reason you stay back if you're the Obamas is that you do not want to create the appearance that you are directing or dictating what's going on. So you wait. You show a respectful distance as the former president, former leader of the party. Let delegates work things out and don't try to create the impression of that this is a land rush. But it happened so fast that the Obamas are basically playing catch up now and doing it by a phone call, on a released tweet, and doing all that stuff, as opposed to what I think they and most people expected.
Yeah, and it could be that they've always had in their mind to endorse her, or they wanted to see how everything would shake up in the last few days. I did want to ask you about Netanyahu, because it's such a critical juncture that we have here. And in your opinion, based on what we're seeing from the response yesterday and the response today, who do you think Netanyahu is looking for to be the president come November? Because again, as Brooke Schaefer mentioned, there was a little bit of an icy relationship between him and former President Donald Trump, because he came out and said, congratulations to Joe Biden for winning the election.
Well, if Donald Trump can forgive J.D. Vance for calling him America's Hitler, I feel good about Donald Trump's ability if Netanyahu bends the knee, as Vance did. If Benjamin Netanyahu makes clear to Donald Trump, I've always wanted you to win. I wanted you to win last time. People are saying you're the greatest and strongest and best. And by the way, Trump has a good record when it comes to, from a Zionist perspective, what Benjamin Netanyahu wants, what the right in Israel wants. Donald Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. His administration oversaw the Abraham Accords, which was a massive gain. So I think Trump, it's Trump. So I assume he can get over the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu did not help him try to overturn the results of the 2020 election. And they will be, though I would assume they'll be buds again.
Yeah, look, for the Biden administration, it was tough because they were trying to thread the needle a little bit, especially with the issue of Israel on the last year or so. It became tough about trying to gain support and supporting Israel while also acknowledging what was happening in the Middle East. And you kind of heard Harris talk about that in her comments yesterday. And speaking about her, the running mate's a huge issue here. Who she's going to say she wants to be her vice presidential ticket. We think by August 7th. Who helps her campaign most as we sit here today, Chris?
Well, that depends on the same people in the Democratic Party who really don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. How much latitude? So you talk about Barack Obama. The gift that Barack Obama had was that the progressive left basically trusted Obama and believed that they could count on him to govern as a progressive, which allowed him to do things like pick a moderate from a swing state as his running mate in Joe Biden. Does Kamala Harris have the same, is her charge card pre-authorized for the maximum amount from the Democratic base that lets her pick somebody that will help her win the general election? Or does she have any shoring up to do? And that's the tightrope she's walking. She should pick somebody like Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona. It's a swing state. He's got military backing. He's a white dude. It's optically, demographically, attitudinally, philosophy-wise, that's the right kind of choice. Can she get away with doing that without sparking a revolt among progressives? If they want her to win, she'll have that leverage. If they're concerned it'll be much harder for her to win if she has to suck up to the base with a running mate.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.